Yeah, so welcome back to Leicester Fan TV, Reedy. Just heard the news this morning that Luke Thomas has officially joined Sheffield United on a season-long loan move. What do you make to that, really? That's obviously both of our fullbacks are now out. They've moved to different clubs. Christensen gone to Italy, and now Luke Thomas is back in the Premier League with Sheffield United on a season-long loan spell. What do you make to Thomas going out now?
Well, we've got rid of Christensen. We've now got rid of Thomas. Now it's time to bring someone else in because
Yeah,
you do not let two wing backs go or two full backs. Yes, they might not fit the system, but if we get injured players like Mabadidi or even Doyle, who kind of fills in that left back role when we're playing defensive wise, you need to bring someone else in, and you'd obviously bring in someone who's more suitable to that role that Enzo wants to play. But again, like we said last night, that we're getting rid of two players. This means we have to bring someone back in. So if there's one day at the window left tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Otherwise, we'll be strapped for players in that role.
well, yeah, like you say, it's just in Scott's comment. Yeah, don't worry, we have 5 keepers at least.
Yeah, one of the keepers can play left back.
Well, again, we are doing the very typical Leicester transfer business. What we'll wait till the very last minute on the very last day to do the business, which is how we are. We've let 2 players go, and Ndidi looks like he's going to be joining Forest at some point soon before the window ends, so before 11 p.m. tomorrow night. Ndidi will be another one that's off. Daka, Samari, both still trying to leave the doors, as is Harry Suter. Really, that's another 3-4 players, like I said, that I said yesterday, I think will be going, and I think we will see them if that's a loan move or a permanent move. They will be out of the club, and yet who are we bringing in? I've heard very little rumours. I know that Howard Bellis, I don't know how to say his last name, has joined Southampton.
Yeah.
Is on loan from Man City.
I think so.
There's that player, that defender we wanted, as now, he's not an option for us. If we lose a striker, Perot, missed opportunity, we'd let him go to Leeds because, again, we didn't get rid of the players quick enough. And I think our biggest worry is we've got rid of these 2 left backs, really. But if Doyle was to get injured, but at this moment in time, who plays in his position? And I know you would probably say Justin.
Yeah.
But once Justin's very injury prone, can we rely on him?
I'd want to say yes, but like you say, he's injury prone, so you can't.
I just want to pull up Scott's comment. We don't use fullbacks, so the situation hasn't changed. But we do use fullbacks. We have a left and a right back on defence.
In the defensive roles, when the opponents are on the attack, we do play with a left back and a right back.
So Doyle changes from a left back to a left centre back, depending if we're attacking or defending, and so does Pereira
goes from a right back to a defensive mid. Yeah.
So we do play with fullbacks. Just because they change position in attack doesn't mean we don't play with them. So I'm sorry, I think we have to disagree with you there, Scott. I don't think that's true. But I think with Thomas going, I am a bit surprised that out of all the clubs, it's Sheffield United step up in the Premier League. He does have the experience under his belt. For a club like United, who are looking to probably stay up in the league, they're looking for cheap alternative options to keep up. And Luke Thomas has got probably 50 odd games under his belt in the Premier League for us, so it's a decent little move for him. It's better than Leeds, really. I'll tell you that. If he was going to go anywhere, at least it's not Leeds, because that's the team we could be fighting with us to come back up.
I guess people would say that we've missed out on a lot of players, like say the likes of Perot or Howard Bellis. And for me, I don't see it as we've missed out because we don't know if they were on our radar in the first place. We're just hoping that we did go for these other players because they're qualified in certain leagues. But now Thomas has gone into the Premier League, you'd probably expect him to get into that side because from what I saw of the last Sheffield United game, I think against Man City or whatever, they did get an injury in their left back role. So maybe they're trying to replace that. And they were using an out of position player in that role last game. So that's maybe where Thomas now goes into the team and is their Premier League starting left back. So would you say he's Premier League level? Yes, because he's been in the Leicester squad for the last 50 games in the Premier League. So I don't think he's going to be the best player for them, but they've just got promoted. He's better than what I think that's probably the best they could have got. I don't think they could get any higher level other than getting maybe a relegated Premier League side team. So, the guy says there, Ndidi can go as well. These are players where they're not going to be playing for us, so we do need to let them go. Otherwise, they're just going to be sitting on the bench doing nothing.
I think, like I said, Tom's one of those. He needs a loan spell. I mean, he's got a loan spell to a better club than us, believe it or not. In a weird way, that's not usually how loan spells work. It's usually they go down to get experience, but he's gone up to help a team for whatever reason. I assume again, money reasons. It's one of those things where we're not really going to know the full story because we don't work at the club. But I can imagine Sheffield United either paying his wages outright or paying the club some kind of money, some way, shape, or form, as we know is the situation. He plays just like I believe with Yunus Akgün, we do have to pay Galatasaray £500,000 anyway for him to just be a Leicester player, regardless of how much he plays. And I assume that's on top of probably half the wage you have to pay. So there's all kind of money for Duran and stuff like that clubs have to work with, so I can imagine it's beneficial to both parties for him to go. Because I think, really, if we're being honest, with Doyle fully fit, Thomas probably doesn't really get a look into the team.
Well, we know that, and even Christensen, Enzo said that they just don't fit the style that we're playing, and he was trying to teach them and progress them to being in this side, but they just couldn't do it. And there's nothing bad on them because they are just out and out fullbacks, and they've been playing that the whole life. So they're just used to playing a more defensive style, I guess, not as an attacking. So him now will probably go into that team in a role that he probably prefers.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even opt out for him leaving permanently if he has a good season for Sheffield United, and maybe depending on circumstances, if we come up and they go down, maybe he comes back to us, or if he has a good season and they go down, we come up, we might sell him on to another Premier League club, or he comes back into our first team as a left back, maybe a bit more adapt. And it's a weird one because he's out there for the whole season now and it's just started, so we're not going to see him for a while. I think it's probably a smart move from the club to let him go. I just think it becomes a bad move if in 36 hours we don't have a defender to come in and replace these roles, because I think we do know that we need to start replacing the players that we are letting go. Like I say, that's 2 left backs that have gone.
No, it was not Scott. No, it was Jake. He was just scrolling in the background. Like you say, I'm happy to let people go and let players go if they're not going to fit into the side, and that is going to be the likes of Daka, Sumare, Thomas, and Christensen. But you've got to replace them. If you get rid of them, you've got to replace them either now, today, or even tomorrow morning. Well, don't do it till 11 o'clock.
No, I think our depth is looking pretty. I'd say it looks okay.
It was looking good, but now we're letting a lot of players go.
And like I said, this isn't going to be the only ones that go, really. We are going to see the likes. I think 100% Ndidi is as good as gone. Mm-hmm. I think with Fabrizio tweeting the stuff he has, I think he's as good as gone to Forest. Sumare, I've heard the rumours again, Sevilla and that. I'm not sure if the deadline is 100% closed for loan moves, especially outside of English football. So I'm not sure how far we can drag something like him going to Sevilla out for.
And I've heard that Daka's going to Burnley as well.
Yeah, we've had Daka to Burnley a little bit. Again, we've just got to wait, really. But like you say, that is 2 players that have left in the space of 24 hours, really, less than now. So for me, now we do need to bring someone in, and I just hope we do it quickly, like you say, because we are going to need a new player. We're playing Hull on Saturday, so if Doyle, hopefully he doesn't, but if he does pick up a bad injury, who's the person that, replaces him? Because you can't rely on Justin. He came off against Tranmere with a cramp, so, he can't even stay. He's getting cramps in matches, and that's not really a good sign when he's been out for 2 years and he can't even stay fit for against a League Two side. So Thomas has officially gone to United. I can imagine this is not Sheffield United. I can imagine this is not the last stream we'll be doing today. I can imagine we'll probably hear that someone else will be going, and we'll keep you updated. But cheers for watching the video anyway. We'll keep you updated over the next 2 days with players coming in and out. By the sounds of it, it's a lot more out than in, as far as we know so far. Any final thoughts, Reedy?
No, like I say, I'm glad he's gone. If I'm totally honest, he needed to go. But again, we all said last year that he needed to get a loan move in the Championship, and now he's got a loan move to Premier League. So he's probably just gone up in the world at the moment, and
Yeah.
hopefully he has a good season, because you don't want to see him get relegated again with them and then come back to us if we do get promoted and have a relegation again on his CV, I guess. So you don't want that to happen. But
Yeah, definitely. All right. Cheers, guys.